for watching 4-Color Commentary. I'm Mark Allen, and I am here with another comics haul, a 50-cent haul to be exact. And this is a stack of comics that I got a couple of weeks ago at Shadow Mountain Comics in Tulsa. It takes a little time sometimes for the old brain to start kicking in. But anyway, yeah, Shadow Mountain was running there. They as I've explained before, you know, how they do their sales about once a month, I think, or once every 6 weeks. They get a new collection in, a big new collection. They start at $10 a comic, $5 a comic, $1 a comic, and then 2 for $1 and on like that. So I think they even work down to a quarter a comic sometimes for $4. So anyway, it's a great thing. It's a great deal. So even if you get on the tail end, the last week of a sale, there's usually great stuff to be grabbed for the price. All right. So anyway, I want to go through this stack of 50-cent comics I got. This is going to be independent heavy. Okay. And even some Christian comics in there, which I love good independent and Christian comics. But I'll start with something more modern. Savage Spider-Man. This was something that was a part of an ongoing event, Marvel event. I forget the year. I think it's just within the last few years. It was okay. You know, not knowing about the rest of the event, not knowing about the ongoing thing, and not being real big into new comics anymore. You know, it was okay. It was a read. But for 50 cents, you know, it's cool. I think they've about outdone, however, throughout history, I think they've just about outdone the Spider-Man turns into some kind of beast trope. And so I think that's about just about run its course. But it was what it was. And that was a decent read for 50 cents. All right, this is one. I think this is a Belgium comic. This is Junior Press Strip. It's all in German, or I'm not sure. But this is number 12, Peter Parker, Der Spectacular Spider-Man. Okay, so there you go. This is literally only the second foreign comic that I have, comic in another language. It is a very familiar, obviously, John Romita Jr. cover Spectacular Spider-Man from the past, but just a different language. And so anyway, that was kind of cool for 50 cents. I like the examples of the international adaptions of Marvel Comics. Here's a couple of first appearances. This is an X-Men comic, Uncanny X-Men, number 215 from 1986, okay? This introduces 3 new characters that have recurred a couple of times in Marvel continuity. It's just kind of cool, though, to have these 3 new characters. They are represented as characters who were part of Marvel's Golden Age, I believe, but this introduces Stonewall, Super Saber, and Crimson Commando as they duke it out there with a powerless, at the time, Storm. Okay, so very cool Alan Davis cover, and Alan Davis inked by Dan Green, which is just one of those really cool dream teams. If you couldn't see Alan Davis's work finished by Paul Neary, Dan Green was a close second. And so great stuff there. Great first appearance book. Again, for 50 cents, I'll take it. Another first appearance book. This is one I'd never read, but a friend of mine, Dal Turley, of Comic Empire and of the now defunct, I guess, YouTube channel, even though it's still up, Comic Book Straight Talk. He used to love this character. I would say go check out Comic Book Straight Talk. It's been 3 years since I posted a video, but show him a little bit of love, encourage him maybe to come back. Okay, but this is the Awesome Slapstick number 1, first appearance of that character, Slapstick. He did have a revival series or one shot years later. I don't remember which it was, but that's one I always thought I had to get that and read it. I've heard it's a good read, funny read, lighthearted. Plus, if you've got the powers of a cartoon character, honestly, in a sense, that's nigh invulnerability there, okay? That's near total power or absolute power. So anyway, great stuff there. I can't wait to read that. Haven't read it yet, but I love the cover. Very bright, lots of primary colors. And so anyway, great stuff there. That is a, let's see, what is that? From 1992, I believe, is what that says on there. So anyway, all right, this next one, anytime you get a chance to pick up one of these these 100-page monsters from Marvel that they did in the 90s. I think it was the 90s. I'm going to say it's the 90s. I'm not going to go inside. But anyway, if you get if you see a 100-page monster, especially for $1 or less, pick it up, okay? Because they're full of, they've always got a current story, but the majority of the book is cool reprint stories. And this is Avengers number 27, 100-page monster with a great Perez cover. Also, a couple of older Perez stories in there. They all deal with change-ups to the Avengers roster, which are always great reads, fun reads, okay? So it's a great story. It's a great book. And like I say, you got the new, what's really neat about this is you can compare, for 50 cents, man, you compare the later George Perez work with the older George Perez work and see just how much his work advanced, even though it was great in his early days, okay? He is one of those artists that I equate John Byrne in the same category. When they were young, you looked at their work and they just, by their work, it seemed like they were hungry. They were ever growing, even within a single issue, you could see improvement, okay? And now, whereas Perez, his work kept getting better until his health issues, John Byrne's kind of tapered off, and, there was some issues of Byrne, and I'm a Byrne head, people know that. But there was some issues that seemed like he was kind of phoning it in. I don't remember ever seeing an issue of Perez's work that looked like that. So anyway, great stuff there. Now, believe it or not, that's it for the mainstream stuff. The rest is independent stuff and Christian books. And let's go ahead. I'm going to do the Christian books because I was really kind of excited about these. They were either issues I didn't have. Well, there was one issue I didn't have, 2 issues I didn't have, and then one that the rest of them I had, but these were much better copies. Okay, first of all, this is a new Barber Christian Comics with art by Al Hartley. I've never even seen this one. It's a comic devoted primarily to the stories of Jesus. He's the greatest, okay? Great Al Hartley cover there. I love it. And Hartley's work just so good, clean lines and vibrant, and I love that he did so many of the Christian comics. Okay, let's see. Let's go with the ones that I already had, but these were better copies. The Ark, Volume 7 of the Crusaders, or Issue 7 if you like. But great, beautiful cover, awesome cover for, showing the flood, so just great stuff there. Okay, Alberto, it's a Volume 12 of the Crusaders series. I'm slowly getting I only really have 3 or 4 issues to get. There were the latest issues, which seem to be harder to come by. Okay, but that was also in better condition than mine. This is Volume 1 now of the Crusaders series, even though at the beginning it was called the Sword series. Okay, but this is King of Kings. Love that cover, that kind of cosmic Jesus cover there. Okay, King of Kings. Again, I don't know if this one is exactly better condition than the one I had, but you don't see these in the wild too often. And for 50 cents, it was just one of those books I couldn't pass up. Best to just grab it and go. And so that's what I did. So anyway, great book there. Here's the one that fit in and gave me issues 1 through 12 of the Crusaders. There's one I didn't have before. Excuse the red price tag on the front of the bag. I'll just go ahead and take it out. This is a beautiful cover. This is issue 11 or volume 11 of the Crusaders. Sabotage with a question mark. Sabotage. A picture of the Bible there on fire. Don't know the premise of the story. Haven't read it yet, but love that cover. And I was really glad to find this one. This is another one of the Crusaders books that you don't see very often, or at least you don't see it very often in my neck of the woods. Okay. So those were great scores from, great 50-cent scores from from Shadow Mountain in Tulsa. All right, here's the independent stuff. I'm going to go ahead and take some of these out because this is a limited series. I looked it up before. I honestly don't know if I have all of them, if they did more than 4 issues. I'm going to take them out because they did with some of these. That's unfortunate. I hope I didn't ding a corner. I didn't. Boy, that's amazing. It must have landed flat on the top edge because I was sure that was going to be a dinged corner. All right, so back to what I was saying. I don't know if they did. Well, they did. The Shadow Mountain was actually paying. Actually, these were 25 cents a piece because some of these came 2 per bag. So these were actually 25 cents a piece. Oh, and I just noticed one of these has there's 2 issues of number 3. Okay, so what am I talking about? You say, what are you talking about, Mark? Well, I don't know if they just did 4 issues. I haven't done the research yet, but this is a reprint of a comic strip called Midnight Skulker. And it does a lot of parodies of different heroes, and this was started in 1986. Here's Midnight Skulker number 1, and that is, of course, obviously an orange parody of the Hulk. You got Wonder Woman and Howard the Duck parodies, and it looks like a Captain America parody and Doctor Strange parody, Mole Man parody. Great, you gotta love parody books, okay? I love it. So Midnight Skulker number 1, okay? Here is, and you're with a great homage cover. Midnight Skulker number 2 with a Dark Knight homage there. And so great stuff there. And it is black and white interiors to give you an idea of what the interiors look like there. But I love these parody comics. 2 issues of number, by the way, this Target Comics, the new universe. Instead of, I get it now. Instead of New Universe, GNU. All right, issue number 3. Of course, there are 2 of those, and there's your Doctor Strange and Batman or Dark Knight and Howard the Duck parodies there on the front in color, and then a bunch of others. It looks like, yeah, there you go. You got parodies of covers from the New Universe. What was the suit of armor? Spitfire. Okay, there's a Spitfire parody. So interesting. That might be the only Spitfire parody ever. So, you know, nobody cares. All right. So anyway, and then lastly, you have the Midnight Skulker number 4. And again, I don't know if there are more of these, but I should know that cover. That is an homage to, I think, another Dark Knight cover with Superman and Batman, I think. I don't remember. Again, the old mind, the old brain, okay? Secrets and Superpowers, okay? So very cool red, yellow, and red cover there in black. All right, so anyway, great stuff there. Can't wait to read those. Very, of course, tongue-in-cheek and fun, and, so great homage covers there. All right, this I just picked up on a whim. I've passed it up so many times before, but I picked it up because of the artwork by a guy named Henry Mayo. And I don't even know, where is he now? What's he doing? I don't know. Hopefully he's still doing comics because he's got a style that's very reminiscent of like artists like Adam Hughes. And I'm trying to think of the guy who came up with Xenozoic Tales, Mark Schultz. But anyway, check the cover. Check the cover of Dinosaur Rex. Very cool, very nice, kind of good girl cover there, but really the art style, I love it. I love the font, the title. I love the illustration. Great stuff. Let me give you a peek at the inner art. Find a good. Here's some cool stuff. Of course, color and really very, very engrossing art style. Very entertaining. Great stuff. I don't know who this. I'm gonna start doing some research though on Henry Mayo. See if maybe I can reach out to him on social media, find out what's what with this guy. But really cool stuff. Trying to look for some more. Oh, here you go. There's a great double page spread. They're racing dinosaurs. You gotta love it. Racing dinosaurs. Why go to the horse races? Go to the dinosaur races. All right. So great stuff there by Jen Snrad and Henry Mayo, and. Great stuff. All right, this was an interesting. I thought of Metarog when I found this because this is one of those promotional comics. It's what's the word? It's a public announcement comics or whatever. But this is copyright 1982 by the Institute for Food and Development Policy. This is called Food First Comics. Okay, never had seen that before. Shout out to Metarog. Have you ever seen this before, Raj? I'm wondering if you've ever seen that. Okay, and got 4 myths of food scarcity, overpopulation, production, and passivity. Very much a comic with a purpose, obviously, with a political slant. But that's cool. That's all right. Politics make up the world today, and just the way it is. All right. Getting closer to finishing a series I really liked. Again, these were 25 cents a piece because there were 2 per bag. This is the Silent Invasion. I have Silent Invasion issue 1. Been holding on to it literally for years, waiting to find the others. I didn't want to go on eBay and get them. I like finding stuff in the wild. But issue number 2 of the Silent Invasion, done in a very independent style, okay? I don't remember the year that these were done, but they were done by Renegade Press, which turned out a lot of really cool stuff. Silent Invasion number 3, love that cover. Very cool. Silent Invasion number 4, and I think there's 6 issues in this, or 7, something like that. But then on the back of this, and this is a comic by my good friend Michael Vance, whose column I co-wrote for 10 years. And this is Holiday Out, the reprint of his Holiday Out strip, issue number 1. Okay, so that Michael Vance, I don't know if, yeah, Vance and someone named Truman did the ink, did the cover. Vance drew the cover, Michael Vance drew the cover, but then the colors were done by independent comics legend Grass Green. Okay, and so great stuff there. Fun book. If you ever see that in a box, any box, you know, up to like $5, it's worth it. It's worth it. It's probably worth more than that. Sorry, Mike, I should have said a $50 box. Okay, but I don't think he watches my videos, so it's no big deal. So he's older than me even, so I don't think he does YouTube, but maybe he does. Anyway, I just dug myself a hole there. There's Holiday Out number 1 by my good dear friend Michael Vance, and so great stuff there. All right, next part of a series I've been wanting to get hold of for quite some time. This is issue number 2 of, I think, a 3 or 4 issue series. Bernie Wrightson, Master of the Macabre, and it is a nice glossy copy. Okay, so gotta love Wrightson's work. You love just the guy just does such amazing work. And here's the thing, he really pulled out all the stops on this book. I believe that this work is as good as any work he's ever done, maybe short of his Frankenstein graphic novel. Okay, or I'll call it a graphic novel. I'm trying to find a good example of his work here, and just kind of so you can see the, my goodness, the tones and the moods and the emotion in his work, and the macabre, I guess, and the macabre nature of his work. Okay, and so very cool stuff there. I've been wanting for a long time to land that series. All right, next I did get issue number 3 of Emergency. I have issues 1 and 2. I was glad to find that. These aren't just floating around in every back issue box. And for 50 cents, great grab. And it's a decent copy. And so love the early Charlton stuff. And love the tones and the realistic nature. Looks like a painted cover, honestly. But great stuff there. Okay. These last 2 here. This particular one I grabbed because of my love of gimmick covers. Has an amazing Jay Lee cover. This is from Boom Studios. Let me get a year on this. Nice heavy cardstock covers. October 2020, number 1. Dune House Atreides. Anyway, love this die cut cover. You have Dune there in the mouth of one of those large sand creatures, but then when you open up the first cover, there's the cover of Dune there. Okay, now I'm not a big Dune fan. I did enjoy Dune Part 1, the first movie, several months ago. It was on a free streaming network, and I watched it. I enjoyed it. I'm kind of looking forward to the second one. Reviews are mixed, but for 50 cents, this was a great gimmick cover, and I snagged it. And so no regrets on that. Lastly, a great independent book. This is another parody book, and I like parody books more and more the older I get. This is, I believe, a 1984 publication. Give me just a moment. And 83, 84. I find art dated 1983. It is a graphics press. Graphics press. This is a Richard Conkle and Jim Grote work. This is a parody of Conan. This is Equine, the Uncivilized, issue number 1. Great red cover, and love it. And you know, great illustration on the back too. And you got looks like you got a parody of Howard the Duck, giving the Conan parody a kick to the shin or to the leg or something. So really cool stuff there. Very serviceable black and white art in the back. So again, a great parody, but this thing's still got, it has a never read feel to it, even though it has 1 or 2 very almost imperceptible spine ticks. It's got a stiff nature, like it's never really been read through, and it wants to stay closed. I love that in a comic. Okay, even though I love that in a comic, but I always hate that when you do read it, the slight crackle whenever you know, and you worry, well, did they? Okay, good, they stapled it. They didn't glue it, and so it's not the glue peeling away. But anyway, great book there for 50 cents. Great buys for 50 cents, and as I noted, some of them being 2 per bag, 25 cents on some of them. So anyway, there's a great haul, fun haul, and I hope you all enjoyed it as well. Hey, I appreciate you watching 4-Color Commentary. Let me encourage you to check out, every week at least, check out a channel in our YouTube comics community that you've never been to before, okay? And just kind of give them a look. There's a lot of great content out there, and you know how YouTube is. I mean, some people who have great content don't always have the viewers they should have, or the subscribers they should have. And so let me encourage you to check out other channels, and just kind of, you know, give them some love, show them some love, show them some subs and likes on their videos. And with that in mind, if you haven't subbed to 4-Color Commentary, do so. I'd appreciate it. Like the video, share the video, but most of all, as I always say, comment. I like the conversations that are started by some of these books. Do you know these books? Do you know any of these that I showed? Do you have fond memories of any of them? Do you have any information about them? Add those to the comments, because part of what we do here is about education. Education about the comics world and the great works that are found in this particular venue, okay, this particular medium. And so anyway, I appreciate you watching, appreciate you subscribing, and just thanks for watching 4-Color Commentary, and I'll see you next video.